What up, YouTube? Here with a post-fight video for Terence Crawford versus David Avanesyan. Before I give y'all the summary of what took place in the fight, I'm going to tell y'all the results first. Terence Crawford was able to retain his WBO welterweight title via 6th-round knockout. He landed a straight left hand that knocked out David Avanesyan out cold. And prior to the knockout, Crawford was definitely winning the fight. He did a great job of controlling the distance, mixing up his punches very well, throwing combos and landing them successfully. And as we know, Terence Crawford is a very accurate puncher, and all of his offensive punches were landing very well and successfully throughout the whole fight. And that uppercut was the main weapon, I would say, that was successful for Terence Crawford in this fight versus Avanesyan. And he was in his rhythm, I would say, after the second round. And as far as David Avanesyan goes, I know a lot of people heading into this fight wasn't familiar with Avanesyan. If you're not a boxing fan that's tapped into the sport of boxing, then you haven't really heard or seen of Avanesyan. That's why a lot of people wasn't looking forward to this fight. Of course, as fans, the fight that we all want to see is that undisputed welterweight title fight between Crawford and the other champion in the welterweight division, the only other welterweight champion, that is Errol Spence. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that fight because they couldn't come to an agreement to make that undisputed title fight happen between the two only champions in the welterweight division. And we got David Avanesyan, and there was other welterweights that Crawford could have fought that is of a higher quality and is more well known. This wasn't the most I would say attractive bout that Terence Crawford could have had. It was in his hometown in Omaha, and that's why there was an enthusiastic crowd in attendance. If it wasn't in Terence Crawford's hometown, it probably wouldn't have drawn as much of a crowd as it did tonight for this fight. And this was on pay-per-view as well, so I'm wondering how the buy rate is gonna look for this fight as well. And this is a brand new network that Terence Crawford is fighting on, and this was his first fight outside of Top Rank. And Terence Crawford, he definitely showed that he was the superior fighter in this fight. David Avanesyan, I gotta give him credit though, because he showed no fear. He didn't back down. He was aggressive from the get-go. I would say he had some moments. He was successful in the first 2 rounds. He was trying to punch his way in to close the distance between him and Crawford. But anytime he would get close to Terence Crawford would utilize his superior footwork and pivot to move out of the way and use different angles to counterpunch Avanesyan anytime Avanesyan would get close to him. As far as Avanesyan's most successful moments in the fight is whenever he would land a overhand right hand, when he would close that gap and punch aggressively and throw combos at Terence Crawford. And as far as David Avanesyan, yeah, he was definitely relentless in this fight. He wasn't in position a lot of the times. He would be squared up instead of having a balance in the fight. And you can't afford to make those kind of technical mistakes versus a elite fighter like Terence Crawford. And I say go watch the fight for yourselves. Go watch the highlights. Check out some clips. And y'all can see Terence Crawford definitely capitalized off of David Avanesyan's mistakes and eagerness in this fight. Anyways, that does it for the post-fight video between Terence Crawford and David Avanesyan. Now, the next fight that we all want to see is Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence for the undisputed welterweight title. I don't know if there's any other opponents that Terence Crawford can fight at the welterweight division. I know Terence Crawford hasn't fought the best opponents ever since becoming a welterweight champion. Sean Porter was the best opponent he's fought to this date, and his best opponents that he fought at lightweight and at super lightweight were Postol and Horn, and that was that was some time ago, and I don't think they're on the level of a Sean Porter. And when he fought a noticeable name like Amir Khan and Kell Brook, they were well out of their primes. Now I don't know who else um Terence Crawford can fight. I don't know if he's gonna reach out to PBC and the welterweight division and its top fighters. The majority of them fight under the PBC banner. So I don't know, with him being with the new network Black Prime, I don't know if there's any other top welterweights that fights under that network. I heard Adrian Broner is gonna be on that network, and Adrian Broner, his best weight is at 140 at super lightweight or lightweight. Now that would be a drawable fight as far as, you know, getting some attention from casual fans and whatnot. But Adrian Broner has been out of his prime for quite a while now, and I don't know. There's guys like, who else is there in the welterweight division now? I mean, Keith Thurman, who came back from a long layoff. He had a successful comeback fight versus Barrios. I heard he's rumored to challenge Errol Spence for Errol Spence's welterweight titles. But I don't know if Keith Thurman is the same fighter as he once was when he was a champion. And he's been, you know, non-active for a while now. And I don't know if there's any other welterweight fighters. I don't know if Terence Crawford want to fight guys like Virgil Ortiz or Jerron Boots Ennis, who are great prospects on the come up, who hasn't challenged for any of the world titles yet, but they're right there on the emergence of becoming that breakout superstar that boxing has been looking for. I don't know if Terence Crawford is going to risk that before potentially getting that undisputed welterweight title fight versus Errol Spence. Now, I don't know if that undisputed title fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is going to happen immediately following this fight, because unfortunately Errol Spence, from what I've heard, he got into a crash yet again. I don't know as far as the details go. Hopefully it's nothing serious, and he comes back healthy, and we could see that as soon as possible. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, and best of wishes and to Errol Spence, and hopefully he could bounce back 100%. And yeah, anyways, that does it for this post-fight video and my post-fight thoughts go. Y'all let me know what y'all opinions are from what y'all saw from Crawford versus Avanesyan. Comment, subscribe, share, like, and I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.